Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahay. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 11 to 15 of chapter 3. Devan bhavayatanena
Devan bhavayatanena
te deva bhavayantu vaha
te deva bhavayantu vaha
parasparam bhavayantaha
parasparam bhavayantaha
Shreya paramavapsyatha
Shreya paramavapsyatha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Taidattana pradayaibhyaha
Taidattana pradayaibhyaha
Yo bhungte stena eva saha
Yo bhungte stena eva saha
Yajna shishtashinah santaha
Yajna shishtashinah santaha
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha
Ye pachantyatmakaranat
Ye pachantyatmakaranat
Annad bhavanti bhutani
Annad bhavanti bhutani
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha
Yajnat bhavati parjanyaha
यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः
यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So we are in verse number 11, wherein he is actually giving some very powerful messages. And these messages are so useful to you in your path, in your spiritual path. This will actually help you to grow spiritually very fast. See, whenever you're traveling, when you have a road map, you know how to go, you can actually travel at a fast pace. But if you don't know the route and you're finding out at every point, just imagine you're driving on a road and there is a left and there is a right. Now you don't know whether to turn left or right, so you stop there. You ask someone, or you can see the map, oh, I have to turn like this. Then you take. And after that, again, you don't know how to proceed, so you stop. So if you're going to travel like this, that's going to take more time. The more sensible thing would be to put the destination right in the beginning and see what is the path, so that you're very clear mentally. This is where I am, this is how I need to go, and this is where I want to reach. Along the way, what are the various milestones? What are the various references? That is also important, because you know that they serve as guidelines, as yardsticks to measure whether you're actually going in the right path or not. So that is the focus of this particular verse, verse number 11. It started off in the previous verse and he is continuing, and it will go further in the next verse also. So all these verses put together actually give you the clarity about what your ultimate purpose is, that is, what is your destination and where are you, how do you travel, what are the various steps which you need to take. Everything is being given here. That is, the principle behind all these is being given here. So what is he saying? May you nourish the gods by this. Devan bhavayata anena. And then te deva bhavayantu vaha. May the gods nourish you. Parasparam bhavayantaha. Nourishing each other shall you obtain the highest good. Param avapsyata. So that's what I told you. The highest good. Param avapsyata. So param shreyaha means the highest good. Avapsyata means you obtaining it. So Param Shreya is the ultimate destination. See, he is fixing the destination very clearly. And then, where are you now? He says, may you nourish the gods by this. Means you are a human being and you have to reach this ultimate destination. So what is the path? By nourishing the gods. That's what we are going to see fully. How do we apply this in sadhana? One of the factors I had given last week, we will revise that and I'll give you a few more subtler points and then we'll be moving along. So I did tell you that devas means relative goals to start with. So you go on becoming more and more divine. You reach various states of divinity and finally divinity in its fullest blast, we can say. That is the state of infinite consciousness, what he calls as Param Shreya. So very, very clearly he is defining the goal, your position and the path which you need to take. If you understand it in depth, actually there is no confusion. It's very, very clear. When you don't understand this properly, then you may get into some intellectualization, but that's not going to give you any clarity in your life and in your spiritual path. See, the idea of studying the scriptures is to get that clarity about your purpose, about where you are and about the path which you need to take. If that clarity is not obtained, then what is the use of gaining this information? And who is a guru? Guru, one who shows light where there is darkness. So even when you intellectually understand all this, when you actually practice, there will be many blocks which you will face. It's like you learn the theory of swimming, let us say. But when you actually start swimming, let's say you want to go from this end to that end. So that is the destination, this is where you are. Now the water is there in between, so start swimming. Now this is very easily said, but when you actually do it, many obstacles may come. In the Gita Dhyanam, which we did before we started chapter 1, in that he compares the path to a river. And he says, what are all the blocks? Very, very clearly. I had explained at that time. Now, you have to go from this shore to the other shore. So the various inner blocks you will face. So one by one, when you cross over, that is where the Guru Shakti will help. That is the role of a Guru. The Guru defines the path, he defines the goal, gives clarity about the goal, he helps you to understand your present position. But the most important thing or the most important work of a Guru is when you face these obstacles in your path, he does not leave you alone. As long as you remain connected, as long as you sincerely ask for help, guidance will be given. Otherwise, one particular block can completely make you drown in that river. The entire Mahabharata war is actually referring to that only. For example, in that Gita Dhyanam, he says, the two banks, Bhishma and Drona are the banks. So what does Bhishma represent? What does Drona represent? Because they are all a part of the Kaurava camp. Then he says, who is Duryodhana? Who is Karna? Who is Shalya? Like this various characters are all, like for example, He says Shakuni is one kind of a lily which traps the boat, the blue water lily. Similarly, he says Shalya is a shark. Ashwatthama is one obstacle. All this is the battle which is happening within you. All these characters refer to certain negative qualities within you which can actually make you drown in that river. So that is where the grace of God and the higher grace, the Guru Shakti, helps. The Guru Shakti is nothing but a manifestation of that infinite only. The infinite has many functions. They say God has many functions like creation, maintenance, destruction, protection, and then guidance, helping. So that infinite manifests as a Guru Shakti, and the Guru Shakti manifests as a Guru in order to guide, in order to throw light wherever there is darkness. So this is the first step. You need to become very clear about your destination, where you are, and the path which you need to take. And as we go along, the various obstacles, so many tips will be given to tackle all the obstacles which you will face in this inner journey, towards the divine. Now, before we get into this principle of Deva fully, there is a very interesting thing which you can note about verse number 10 and verse number 11. See, the moment he talked about Prajapatihi, that is one who creates. We saw that in the previous verse, right? Praja and Prajapatihi. So now you are a part of creation. And the sadhana is to slowly do tapas, gain self-mastery. Then you will become a part of Prajapatihi. Means you will start creating your own life. Your creative powers, the power to manifest, the power to materialize, all these things will start getting awakened from within you. So if you remember, there were many points which I had given with respect to verse number 10, like start becoming grateful. Gratitude attracts more in your life, whereas if you keep on complaining, you will never become a creator. Like this, various points were given. Now there is an interesting thing which we can derive from the style which he has followed in both verse number 10 and verse number 11. The moment he talks of the Creator. What did he say in verse number 10? May you flower with this principle of yajna, prasavishyadvam. And then let this be the Ishta-Kamaduk. Let it be the Kamadenu of all your ichas. Whatever goals you fix, use this to fulfill. And here he is continuing the same style. May you nourish the gods by this. Devan bhavayata anena. May the gods nourish you. And nourishing each other shall you obtain the highest good. So what is this language? This is the language of blessing. It is very interesting. If you want to create your life in a positive way, if you want to materialize your goals, this principle should be adopted by you. What is that principle? The principle of blessing others. Now, this word blessing can be misunderstood. It can give an ego boost also. Oh, I am blessing everyone. It's not that way. Blessing actually means wishing something good or wishing positive things for others. See, that is what the Creator is doing. All this is the Creator talking. He started talking in the previous verse. That is how it's been dramatized, right? And he is continuing the same here. And what is the very style of the Creator? He is just going on blessing. He says, Prasavishadvam, may you flower, may you grow. Let all your desires get fulfilled. You nourish the gods. Let the gods also fill you with a lot of positive energy. And may you attain the highest. So, the focus of Prajapati is not on himself. There is no selfishness. The focus is on wishing good for others. That is what we call as blessings. This is a very powerful principle of yajna, which you should absorb and start practicing in your life. You should start wishing good things for others. There is a difference between wishing and actually interfering with others' karmas. See, what another person wants has to be decided by that person only. But what prevents you from wishing good for the other person? It is your selfishness. When you have a lot of karma, that is uncontrolled desires, and when those desires are not fulfilled, you will feel a sense of lacuna, a sense of dissatisfaction. And when you have that dissatisfaction within you, you will not be able to wish good for others. Rather, when somebody prospers, you will start feeling very jealous. You may hide those emotions, you may smile externally, all those things are fine. But what is that root emotion which is being generated from within you? As Shakespeare says, one may smile and yet be a villain, he says. Never go by the external smile. In the Mahabharata, they have depicted it so beautifully. Krishna had a captivating smile. Another character also used to smile a lot. That was Shakuni. But Krishna was an avatar. He was the personification of divinity. Whereas Shakuni was just the opposite. So I am not talking of what you say merely verbally or your expressions, your behavior. What is the emotion behind all that? Are you genuinely wishing for the welfare of everyone? First, you start with the people who are close to you. As a great thinker said, I am happy at seeing other happy faces. It's a beautiful, saying. I am happy at seeing other happy faces. The opposite of this is having a competitive spirit. Where do you have a competitive spirit? As I told you, when you have a desire and that desire is not fulfilled, either it is not fulfilled at all or it is partially fulfilled, that is when you compete with another person who may also be having whatever you're desiring. You're constantly comparing and competing. Then you are a part of praja, creation. You cannot be a prajapati. The prajapati within you will not be activated. So that is why in our ancient prayers, they always used to wish for the welfare of the world, welfare of everyone. That is so important. Sarve sukhino bhavantu. They say, let everybody be happy. Sarve santu niramaya. Let everyone be healthy. They, like that, our prayers always were constructed in a very positive way. Wishing for the welfare of everyone around you. That is what a yogi does. A yogi will look as if he is doing nothing, but actually he is doing a lot in terms of energy. By doing the tapas, he has gained so much of self-mastery. And what for does he use all these powers? To wish good for others. So wishing good for others is called a blessing. When you wish negative things for others, that is called a curse. Now, just because you wish, will it happen to the other person? This will be an intellectual question, a logical question which you may ask. It may happen, may not happen. We are not talking about whether it comes true or not. If you are a yogi, then when you wish good for others, it's a powerful energy you are generating and sending to the other person. So that will be very helpful for the other person to fulfill his or her goals. That is why in our ancient wisdom, we always say, take the blessings of the Guru, take the blessings of elders. In the good old days, as life progressed, all elders used to do a lot of tapas. They were people who had done a lot of tapas and they were all yogis. So, without any expectation, without any axe to grind, without any motive, when they say, may you prosper, may you become good in life, it's a positive vibrations, positive energy which you receive. So you should start practicing that from your level. Don't ask, sir, am I now equal to God? Who am I to bless others? That is also ego. See, the giving blessings or wishing good for others, if done in a wrong way, can boost one's ego. But sometimes you go on lowering yourself by saying, who am I? I am nothing. Some people have this habit, They unnecessarily lower themselves. That is also ego. Superiority complex is also ego. Inferiority complex is also ego. So that is, I'm also giving you the blocks which you will be facing when you try to practice this. So when you wish for others, you should not take that superior stance. Oh, I am now doing sadhana. I am great. So I am going to bless everybody. Then all your tapas, the fruits of your sadhana will vanish. Will all be spent very fast. You will come back to square one. Or, see, this is superiority complex. You can also get into inferiority complex. Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm nothing. I'm just a speck of dust. Like this, you may keep talking. Who am I to bless? This is going to the other extreme. So that's why I'm defining what is a blessing very clearly, so that you don't fall into these traps of thinking yourself to be superior to others or thinking yourself to be inferior to others also. See, when he is saying this, may you nourish the gods by this may you prasavishyadvam, like this, when he says, these are all factual statements. He is not talking from any ego, any complex, superiority or inferiority complex. So whatever level you may be in, to the best of your ability, you should try to, again, let me not use the word try, because we always say, no, in the yogic principle, there is no trying, do it. You should always wish positive things for others. When a person comes and meets you, you have an interaction. Why not make that other person more happy? Why not have that selfless feeling that let all good happen to that other person, let him or her experience the best? But the ego will not allow you to do that, because whenever you wish good for the other person, the ego gets threatened. Because the ego wants to compare, the ego wants to feel jealous. So if the other person gets more than me, then am I not lowered? This is how the ego will analyze. So the ego will prevent you from wishing good for the other person. So wishing good for the other person is an aspect of unconditional love. It is only a yogi who can love everyone unconditionally. That's why the great saint Swami Vivekananda, in one of his lectures, he said, I have met so many people, but nobody knows how to love. It is only my master, he is referring to Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, no? He said, it is only my master who knew how to love. See, it's such a powerful statement. And when he is talking about his master, it is not restricted only to that particular master. It is a reference to all the yogis, all the great siddhas, all the great masters in the past and in the present and in the future also. When a person purifies himself or herself completely, then automatically he gets into a selfless mode, the mode of blessing others. Blessing others means, again, not standing on a superior, not standing on a pedestal and saying, I'm great and now I'm blessing you, not that way. In a humble way, in a simple way, wishing for the good of everyone. So this is the difference between a demon and a god. Last week we were seeing Deva, no? What is the quality of an asura? How have they defined an asura in the scriptures? See, if you read the Puranas, you will find that the asuras are constantly wanting to disturb others. They constantly want to create trouble for others. They want to control others. They want to become the ruler of the three worlds. That is how every asura is portrayed. they also do tapas. They also meditate and all that. If you take Ravana, he did a lot of meditation. Ravana was more of a Rakshasa, but with certain asuric tendencies. If you go to further other Puranas, they have depicted, like Hiranyakashipu, he did a lot of tapas, meditation, intense meditation. But then what boon did he seek? Everything for himself only, self-glorification. And what did he use those powers for? To rule everybody, to control everybody. At one point he said, I am only God and you all have to worship me. That is a manifestation of the ego. So now he says, may you nourish the gods. May you start nourishing the divine nature within you. That is the inner sadhana application. See, if you consider gods, demons, everyone outside, then there is no relevance to your sadhana. So in the yogic approach, we always establish the relevance of these scriptures to our lives, to what is happening within us. So whenever you have a negative quality, it is the energy of the asuras or Rakshasa. Whenever you have a positive quality, it is the energy of the gods, the divine beings. So what is the difference? The asura in you wants to create disturbance to others. They feel threatened. See, one characteristic of asuras, how they have described it, when another person is prospering, they feel so restless and threatened. They feel inferior. And whenever they see somebody who is lower than them, then they get a sadistic pleasure. They feel superior. Now, if you carefully look within, you will find that many a times your mind may slip into these two facets. One is, whenever you see someone higher than you, you feel inferior. You get an inferiority complex. That's when you feel jealous. And whenever you look at someone who is lower than you mean you are having something which that person does not have. Immediately you feel superior. You get that superiority complex. So how do you convert this into the divine energy? Converting your negative energy to divine energy is the sadhana application of may you nourish. The word used is bhavayata, bhava. Everything is bhava only. What is your bhavana? Whether it is the bhavana of cursing others. See, whenever you are jealous of others, whenever that is the energy of cursing. Whenever you wish good for others, that is the energy of blessing. So a deva is one who blesses. And the more you start blessing, means the more you develop this attitude of wishing good for others, the more of a deva you are becoming, the more divine you are becoming. Now if you go to the highest, who is the God of all gods, that is the infinite, such a person is naturally in the mode of blessing only. That's what is so beautifully dramatized here. Line after line he says, may you nourish, may the gods nourish you, nourishing each other, may you or shall you, you should obtain the highest good. Prasavishadvam, let everything good happen to you. Let all your desires get fulfilled. Ishta kama dukh. See the benevolent motive. Genuinely from the heart, he is able to wish good for others. So you should absorb that energy. See, in life, you think about it. Right from day one, we are only taking. Taking means, I'm not talking of merely physically taking. We are only thinking about ourselves. And this keeps on continuing. When we see a person who is prosperous, we try to talk something negative about that person. He must have got that money in the wrong way. Oh, what is the big deal? We always try to put down others. The tendency to put down others comes when you feel threatened. Whereas nourishing the gods means you should wish for the welfare of others. And whenever you see someone achieving something, someone having a lot of wealth or whatever it is, you genuinely feel happy for that person. Oh, so wonderful. Let that person further progress in that. But when you try to practice this, the ego will come and try to try to prevent you from doing this. And you see, the entire verse is nothing but wishing for others. Whenever you see another person suffering, now genuinely identifying with that person and wishing that person again good. Let that person come out of that suffering. Let that person get positive things. That is the other side of blessing. Both these you should practice. Whenever you find another person prospering in any field, let it be in terms of wealth, let it be in terms of name and fame, let it be in terms of skill. Supposing you find your own spouse, just for argument's sake, better in some activity than you, what happens? Immediately the competitive spirit comes. You are unable to appreciate it. But developing that appreciation. See, if you can't even practice it with respect to your spouse who is nearest to you, how can you practice it with others? If you notice, whenever a person becomes famous, there are a lot of people who will find out faults of that person, who will try to pass negative comments on that person. From where is all this coming? It's all coming from that jealousy. The mind burns, as it were. So you should convert that energy into a divine energy of blessing, of wishing good for others. And when you see the sorrow of others, identify. See, supposing, let's say, somebody whom you know very well, that person's near and dear one has passed away. Now, are you genuinely able to identify and wish good for that person? Yes, that will be there, but there will also be a pollution. That will immediately trigger a fear reaction in you. What will happen to me? And supposing I lose somebody, or what can happen to me? That fear comes because the accent is on I, me and myself. You should observe your own mind. Self-observation, swadhyaya, that is self-study, is a key to achieve success in the spiritual path. So what do yogis do? They just do these two things. Whenever they see someone prospering, they feel so happy. This is identification. Whenever they see a person suffering, they genuinely feel sorry for that person, and they give that healing. They generate the positive energy, and it automatically flows to the other person. Because if you really think about it, even if you take only this lifetime, it is a short period we have. In that short period, are we going to keep fighting with others and wasting our time, wasting all our energies? Instead, we should live our lives peacefully, happily. And it is only when you start wishing good for others that you can become peaceful. Unconditional love gives you immense peace. When you don't have unconditional love, either you will develop attachment towards that person, which is being understood as love today. Attachment is actually selfishness. You want to control the other person. Or you may develop hatred towards the other person. Both ways, you are the person who is going to suffer. Why do you have to suffer because of another person? You should live your life in a very happy way. That is why these great yogis are saying, practice this simple principle of blessing others. This is an aspect of yajna. Yajna, one of the meaning is sacrifice. I did explain to you in the previous verses. Sacrifice means what? Wishing good for the other person. Sacrificing your selfishness, selfish attitude. I am talking about the attitudinal level. Practically, it will always be a give and take. But a yogi always has this attitude of blessing others, whether he is giving something physically or whether he is accepting something. Whenever a yogi gets an opportunity, he gives some material things to people. He feels so happy. And when they come and give him something out of love and affection, he looks at the bhavana and accepts that, because by accepting that, it makes the other person happy. So even when a yogi is taking something, he is making the other person happy. That is his motive. That is yajna. Always be in that position where your effort is in trying to make the other person happy. Then you will become a yogi. Start practicing this. Practice it first with respect to the immediate people around you and see the results. Then you can start extending your circle of identification. Start practicing it in your office. An employee who thinks in terms of the welfare of the organization automatically will get his promotions. He doesn't need to even ask for it, it will come. The law of karma works with mathematical precision. You get what you deserve in life. Nobody can take it away from you. So, in every verse, we have been seeing a few aspects of yajna. So, absorb them and start practicing them. When you're all alone by yourself, do the sadhana. See, in the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana, what are we doing? Filling ourselves with the divine energy and purifying. Purifying ourselves of what? Of all the ego and selfishness. Now again, don't misunderstand this. Don't think now wanting something for yourself is selfishness. No. Wanting something for yourself at the cost of another person is selfishness. Because this wanting good for others, wishing good for others, if it becomes a karma again, uncontrollable desire, then also you will suffer. Many people who are selfish, they suffer. Many people who are unselfish are also suffer because that is not within their control. They get so upset when another person doesn't get something which they believe they should get. Then that has become a karma. We are only talking of wishing. Let everybody get good things. Let everybody be peaceful. Now, whether that actually happens or not, so many factors are there. The other person's karmas are the key factors. So you should have that mature understanding. So you start wishing well for your own family first. Not out of attachment, but out of love. Then start wishing well for your colleagues, for the society, for the nation, for the entire world. And then a time would come where you will be able to practice this with respect to your enemies also. Enemies means those with whom you have certain issues, You have a lot of hatred, or you don't like some people. To wish good for them is a very advanced practice of yajna. A yogi does that. And there is so much of kick in that, Supposing somebody comes and criticizes a yogi. Somebody goes to yogi and criticizes. Now, if that person is a true yogi, what reaction will he bring out? May that person be good. You know how much of kick is there in that? When we use that word, you can immediately understand, it rings a bell. There is no happiness in selfishness. Real happiness comes, real satisfaction comes when you start developing this bhavana that let everyone be good. Incidentally, you are also included in that. When you say let the whole world be good, you are not neglecting yourself. See, yajna, sacrifice, doesn't mean you suffer and let me make the other person happy. It's not all that. You are also a part of this world. So you should be objective to yourself. Self-care is not selfishness. Remember that. Self-care is an integral part of sadhana. You should love others as you love yourself, which means you have to love yourself first. So the principle of yajna starts from here, and it should spread to your family, immediate relations, your friends, the society, the entire world. Then there are no friends, no enemies. Internally, you view everyone equally. You may have duties towards certain people. That is with respect to external action. Don't confuse external action with this attitude. That is why he is using the word bhavam 3 times. See, devan bhavayata anena once. Te devaha bhavayantu aha. They let them also nourish you with the good bhavana. Parasparam bhavayantaha. Again, he is saying bhavayantaha. Shreyaha param avapsyata. So he is going on repeating bhava. Why? Because this is a practice at the attitudinal level. When you practice this gives you that supreme satisfaction and inner security. You will never feel threatened. Because nobody is higher, nobody is lower. All are equals. That is this bhavana. The ego wants to achieve everything, and it also wants to prevent others from achieving it. And with all this, can it be happy? Can it give happiness? No. See, you read the Puranas. Have you seen one Asura or one Rakshasa also happy? Never. The happiness starts only when you start becoming divine. And when you reach, who is at the highest level, when you take the supreme gods like Lord Narayana, Mahashiva, Mahaganapati, Muruga, Shakti, Goddess Lakshmi, Goddess Parvati, Hanuman, all of them, you see, they are in a state of peace and happiness. That is the culmination. The happiness level goes on increasing and you reach a state of infinite happiness. That was that course, no? Anandoham, that empowerment course we did, no? The infinite happiness. It is by inculcating this spirit of yajna that you can reach up to that infinite level. Whenever your focus is on me at the cost of others, you're constricting yourself, you're restricting yourself. As it were, you're compressing your soul. Whereas when you practice this principle of blessing, you start expanding your soul. Your heart expands, your thinking expands, your entire personality expands. You get that spiritual tejas. Divinity will start oozing out from your face. When you go to a yogi, he may say something, he may not say something, he may crack a joke, or he may give some advice, whatever it is that he does, but your experience will always be divine. It is not in the external dress and all that, a person, you should assess a person whether that person is spiritual or not. It does not matter what dress that person is wearing. It is that inner bhavana. And the yajna bhava is nothing but wishing for the welfare of everyone. I am introducing that to you here itself because anyway he'll be covering this as a special point later on. He will say, function for the sake of loka sangraha. Last week I had told you about different lokas now. Now he says, function for the welfare of all the lokas. Now you may ask me, sir, I am just an ordinary mortal. Now how can I function for the sake of all the lokas and all that? It's the bhava. Bring that intention. We are not talking about the results. We are talking about your intention. Because ultimately, your bhavana defines you. Yatha bhavaha tatha asi. As your bhavana, so are you. It is your intention which stays with you, not the external effects. So, look at your bhavana. When you go to your guru and ask him for something, now he only looks at the bhavana. Is the intention pure? Only if the intention is pure, he will fulfill that. Otherwise, he will not waste his time because it will just be frittering away of the energy. So, see, with this understanding, now we will just read the verse. See how inspiring it is. Devan bhavayata anena. May you nourish the gods by this. He's saying, may you wish for the welfare of the gods. He's gone to all the lokas, See, generally our idea is, we bow down to God and receive blessings. He says, you bless the gods. You start wishing for the welfare of others. Then what will be the output? Te deva bhavayantuha. May the gods nourish you. You will receive all the divine blessings. When you wish good for others, all goodness will come to you. Good things will start happening to you. You will attract the highest blessings. Parasparam bhavayantaha. This is the principle of yajna, the energy, the exchange of energy. When you go to a guru, see, when a true student, what is the relationship between a true student and a true guru? When a student approaches the guru, he always thinks in terms of the welfare of the guru. And when the guru looks at the student, he also thinks in terms of the welfare of the student. Both bless each other, as it were. I am deliberately using the word blessing. Means both wish for the good of each other. That is when the real spiritual wisdom is attained. Shreya param avapsyata. May you obtain the highest good. Isn't it so inspiring? I want you to take this as a homework. Start practicing this. Don't give me any excuses. Sir, but that person is like that. Let that person be like that. What is stopping you from wishing that other person good? Because that person will go away. But whether you have wished good for the other person or whether you have cursed that other person will remain with you. Many people come and ask, sir, please give your blessing, sir. They say, sir, please, one person once asked me, sir, please bless me so that I always get the blessings from God. Double blessing, they want. Always that me is there. Now, how do you get those blessings? How do you get the blessings of God? How do you get the blessings of the Guru Shakti? Simple practice of yajna. So take it up as a homework and start practicing it with the immediate people around you. As a husband, how can I make my wife happy? Not through mere actions, but that bhavana, and then supporting it with actions. Am I doing my duty properly? With respect to my children, let me start functioning for the welfare of my child. Here, the difficulty will be the attachment. See, you may ask, which parent will not want welfare for their children? Yes, correct. But when does it become attachment? I want my child to succeed, but I don't want my neighbor's child to succeed. Then that becomes attachment. You cannot generate that good feeling. That gets polluted. Especially very interesting when the 12th standard exams or the public board exams and all these things happen. I have noticed many parents pray, oh, my son should come first, my daughter should come first. First means that is with respect to others, no? Instead, why can't you pray, let all the children perform well? Won't your happiness become infinite? See, when you are looking at only the welfare of one person, your happiness is limited. But if you are seeking the welfare of everybody, now your happiness becomes infinite. Simple. So take this as a sadhana homework and start practicing it first with respect to your family, your colleagues in office, though with those with whom you already have positive emotions. That's where you can practice first. Then, as you do the yoga sankirtan sadhana and keep purifying yourself, you will start moving to the more higher levels. That is, you will be able to wish good for even negative people. So when you see someone prospering, feel happy for that other person. This is the practice for you. Homework. When you see someone suffering, genuinely identify and wish good for the other person. Let good things happen in that person's life. This is not interference with the other person's karma. Interference means you start deciding. You take that, that ego comes in. And you start deciding what should exactly happen in the other person's life. That is interference. Interfering with the other person's karmas. Wishing is not interfering. Wishing is actually having that intention of doing good to others without interfering with the other person's karmas. It's a very subtle principle which has been told to you. It's only by practice that you can gain mastery over it. So may you nourish the gods by the practice of this yajna principle. May you go on nourishing the gods within you. Means the divine nature within you. Day by day, keep on getting into higher states of divinity. Become more and more divine. See, there also you can develop competition, I have seen this happen in many, is where a husband and wife, they come for, let's say, for these sessions. Now, in a meditation session, let's say the wife gets a wonderful experience and she says, I have actually seen the husband getting jealous, or vice versa. The husband says, I had such a divine experience. Oh, why didn't I get? Did I do something wrong? I have seen wives asking. So, these are all the tests. Supposing a co-sadhak says, I had such a divine experience. You should feel happy for that person. And what you are able to give from others from your heart, that is the emotion or energy which you generate and direct it towards others, will come back to you with million times more force. When you start wishing, see here he says, may you nourish the gods. When you start wishing good for gods, what will you get? The blessings from all the gods. This is the symbolic meaning of decorating the idol of God in the practice of bhakti. They treat the symbol of God with a lot of love, affection, with the bhavana of taking care of God. Sometimes, intellectuals ask, God, who are you to take care of God? It is not actually taking care of God and all that. It is building that bhavana, wishing for the welfare of God. Then automatically you get the divine blessings. It is actually a situation which was created by our great masters where you practice this principle. You may not have understood it till now. Now you will be able to understand it very well. So remember this, what you send from here will come back to you with 1,000 times more blessings. If you give wealth, you will get back wealth. If you give emotions, you will get back emotions. If you give knowledge, you will become more knowledgeable. See, sometimes when you know something, you don't want to share it with others. You want to keep it all with yourself. The other person also knows that. Then we both become equal. No? That insecurity will be there. But it is by sharing this knowledge with others that you can actually become more knowledgeable. If you want to become more spiritual, what do? You play your part in others becoming more spiritual. Work for the higher cause. You are attending the Sunday sessions, no? You are getting benefits, no? What is preventing you from sharing it with others? There is something like this happening. This is the link. You also watch it. Whether the other person does it or not is not under your control. But what prevents you from sending it to others? Selfishness. Only I want to benefit. So, overcome the selfish nature, overcoming the selfish nature which keeps on manifesting and substituting it with the godly energy, the divine energy. That is what he means by Devan, Devaha. That is an inherent principle of yajna. That is the practice of yajna. And the beauty of this is that you can practice it at any level. Supposing you are at 10% level, you can practice it at that level. If you are at 20% level, you can practice it at that level. To whatever extent you can do this, start doing it. From when? Not from tomorrow. Not even from today. From this moment onwards. Because this is the foundation. If you start practicing this, you will attract the Guru Shakti to you automatically. A Guru is attracted to a student who wants to work for the higher cause. And the Guru gives more. See, I'll explain this. If you want food for yourself, this much only will be given to you. That is enough, no? But if you want food for not only for yourself, but for 10 more people, then more food has to be given to you. It's the same thing with respect to spirituality. When a student approaches a master, initially he'll start off with, sir, I want this, I want that, this is my problem, that's good for a start. But then when the student graduates to the next level, where he starts thinking, sir, I have benefited so much. I want this to spread to others. I want to work for the higher cause which you are working for. What are the things which I can do? The moment he starts thinking on those lines, then the Guru can feel the pulse. The master receives that energy. Oh, now that person wants so many others also to benefit. Let more energy be given to that person. Just like more food is required if you want to feed more people. No? It's the same thing only. And when a student graduates to that level where he says Loka Sangraha, welfare of the whole world, then infinite energy is given to that student. So that is why I am saying you will attract the higher blessings more and more when you practice this. So practice it and see. Okay? So we'll stop with this here. Before the Nididhyasana meditation, I will take up one question. Hari Om Yogishri, I have a genuine doubt about the releasing process. Can you please throw some light on it? I understand it as allowing negative thoughts and emotions to completely surface without any check or filter. and using the vibrations of the Sankirtan, that is Yoga Sankirtan, to withstand with an attitude of surrender to the divine, thereby facing the negative thoughts and emotions objectively and causing it to weaken? Or is it gaining the ability to surpass the negative thoughts and emotions easily and reducing its significance? Thank you. This is a very practical question which she has asked. That is with respect to the release process when you do the Yoga Sankirtan meditation, and in the higher empowerments I will be using the principle of Pratiprasav, which I had mentioned earlier, in a more powerful way. That time more release will happen. So the fundamental thing which she is asking is, supposing a negative thought or a negative emotion comes, are we to focus on that objectively and release that naturally, or are we to surpass it, that is, kind of ignore it and just focus on the higher? Now, I will first give you the blocks which you will face when you are trying both. When you try to focus on the, let's say a negative emotion comes, when you try to focus on it, the problem is you may get attached to that emotion. So when you get attached, you will either try to encourage it or you will try to push it away also. More of encouraging only. On the other hand, when you try to surpass it and think of the divine, you will try to suppress this emotion. Both will not help you to release. So you rightly used the word objectively. That objective, doing it objectively is the key to release, number one. Number two, what should you do with a negative emotion which surfaces during your sadhana? You should neither encourage it nor should you suppress it. How do you do that? Just do the deep breathing and breathe through that thought or emotion. Breathe through the thought means feel that your breath, the prana, and the prana is flowing in and out of that emotion. So allow the emotion to surface naturally, but don't get attached to the emotion or don't ignore it completely. It is a combination of both. You allow the emotion or thought to surface naturally and you facilitate the release of that emotion in a detached way. This is where the deep breathing helps. You immediately focus on breathing through that. That way you are not ignoring the emotion, number one. But at the same time you are not getting completely caught up with that emotion because your focus is on breathing through that. So let's say an emotion of sorrow suddenly comes. And when the emotion of sorrow comes, you feel like crying. Tears are flowing. No problem. Allow that to surface. Just deepen your breath. The Guru Shakti will help you there. The Guru Shakti will immediately come and help the release process of that emotion. So the more intense that emotion, the more intense should be your deep breathing. And after a few minutes, it depends on how long it takes for that layer of karma to get released. Sometimes it may be 1 minute, sometimes it may be 5 minutes, sometimes it may be one entire session also. All these things do not matter. But once that is removed, then automatically you will start feeling very light. So when a negativity is there, you can't forcefully try to think of the divine. It will not work. Many people ask me that, Sir, when I do the Yoga Sankirtan, yesterday I felt very calm and divine. Today I'm not feeling that. Why? I'm feeling restless. I'm feeling this. Which means the energy has started working. Whatever you have stored within yourself is all coming to surface. Now you need to release them. This is the Samudra Manthan. You remember that incident of the demons and gods churning the milky ocean, no? And initially all the poison started coming. It's this inner sadhana, yogic sadhana they are talking about. When you do the Yoga Sankirtan Dhyana, automatically the manthan, the churning of this ocean, of this personality will start happening. At that time, you should neither get fully into it, nor should you completely ignore it. You should be aware and facilitate the release process. Always when you start your sadhana, first offer your gratitude to God, to the Guru Shakti, and start your sadhana. That will genuinely help. And when you end your sadhana also, offer your gratitude to God, to the Guru Shakti, and end your sadhana. Because it is only with the help of the Guru Shakti that the release of all the negative energy can happen in a smooth way. We cannot do it by ourselves. In the yogic path, we lay a lot of emphasis on surrendering to the Guru Shakti. Because in a time of crisis, that alone will give you strength. See, in life you go through various joys and sorrows, no? Various experiences. Sometimes a very big challenge can come. You may have some loss financially, or some near and dear one may pass away. There may be so many things. Sometimes very good things happen. When all these things happen, experience them, but always invoke the Guru Shakti so that the divine protection is always there with you. So when you get something good in life, the Guru Shakti will protect you and ensure that you don't get attached there, so that you don't get stuck there. When something negative happens, let us say a near and dear one passes away, again the Guru Shakti will provide you the strength, the inner strength to face it and come out of it with more spiritual powers. But if you don't invoke, as I said, no guru will interfere with another person's choice. It is what your bhavana is. Whenever you seek with that good intention, that will be given. This is the law of life. So, I'm sure your question has been answered, and this is also a message to all the other sadhaks also. So, master the sadhana. That will take a while. See, to understand what this release is and do that process perfectly will take a while. But start it. Don't expect that you should become a master of this process straight away. But as you keep doing this, slowly you will understand the subtleties. You will get that balance. And when your intention is pure, the Guru Shakti will guide you. The guidance may come during these Sunday sessions. The guidance may come when you're doing your sadhana. So in so many ways, the divine will help you, Okay? So now we'll do Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond this physical body, beyond the pranas, beyond these various emotions and thoughts, beyond these karmas, lies my essential, divine, infinite self. From this moment onwards, I choose to practice the sadhana of yajna in each and every aspect of my life. I wish for the welfare of everyone. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. We had a very powerful session today. This will provide you the inspiration. When each one starts thinking of the welfare of others, just imagine the whole world will change. So if you want to change the world, start from here, from yourself. Purify your intentions. Start practicing yajna in your life. Okay, so do that homework sincerely and come back next week. As you know, the 10th of November, we are going to have the release of the next Yoga Sankirtan material. Many people have been asking me as to what it is about. So the time has come where that can be revealed. The next Yoga Sankirtan is called Shri Hanumat Dhyana. It is invoking the power of Lord Hanuman. This is so essential for you all now because Hanuman represents tremendous spiritual power. And the time has come where you all become very powerful sadhaks. That inner strength should be gained. That is why the divine has given that guidance to create this material. See, what people know about Hanuman is very shallow, superficial. They think Hanuman means they only know one facet, which is he was a messenger of Lord Rama and he is a bhakta. But it's not merely that. As we go along, I will explain more. And even during the day of the release, I will tell you, Hanuman was an avatar. He is the Rudravatar, He played the role of being a messenger of Rama, to be humble and play. But the power which he represents is infinite. There are actually 5 facets to Hanuman. It's like 5 powers put together is one Hanuman. 5 Hanumans, as it were. So all that is what is going to be revealed in that Yoga Sankirtan. It's coming out very, very powerfully. The recording part and all is over. Even the instrumental recording is over. And now the mixing stage, it is at the mixing stage. That is where a lot of meditation is being done to set the energy levels. So much of subtleties are happening. And that's going to create a tremendous impact in your lives. So every week, in the Nididhyasana meditation, you're also being prepared for that release. Because if the entire energy of Hanuman is invoked at one go, you will not be able to bear it. He is called Panchavaktra Hanuman. Panchavaktra Anjaneya means the entire 5 facets. But that power is being infused in this Yoga Sankirtan sadhana material. And as you keep doing sadhana with it, slowly, those powers will start getting awakened within you. You will start absorbing those powers. That will create a complete transformation. And what is most interesting is, many sadhaks have already felt that energy even before I have actually mentioned that, it is about Sri Hanuman. One sadhak from US, he had written when he was doing the Prana Tattva, one of those meditations, suddenly he experienced the energy of Lord Hanuman. Because this Yoga Sankirtan is going on. Another sadhak said when he was doing Maha Ganapati Dhyana, suddenly he felt, intuitively he felt that the Yogishri is doing the next, is creating the next sadhana material about invoking the energy of Hanuman. So many sadhaks have reported their experiences. That is what is amazing. It is all the grace of the divine. When you get connected to the infinite, automatically the messages come. You may not know to decode those messages, but they do reach you. And in one of the Sunday sessions, when I had casually mentioned about Hanuman, one sadhak wrote about it in the YouTube comment section, for 2 weeks continuously, saying somehow that created a deep impact within me. Why? Because that material is getting ready, and it's meant for you all only. So since you're also connected, you started receiving the energy already. So it's in a very raw form now, the energy, and I'm trying to reduce it and bringing it to a workable level so that the minimum and maximum energy limits will be set. That is the most difficult part, which is going on now. So my request to all of you is that make use of these Sunday sessions, number one, and number two, do your daily sadhana. Along with that, see, whatever efforts which is being put towards creating the Yoga Sankirtan material will start coming to you automatically. Every effort which the master puts will reach the students automatically if the student is very sincere and tries to does the daily sadhana with that sincere bhavana. Okay, so for those people who have been asking what is it and all that, it is Sri Hanumat Dhyana. Very powerful Yoga Sankirtan sadhana material. And when the context comes, I'll explain about that more, because what is the background, why that is being done, everything we'll see in the future. Okay, so that release, the release of the powerful release of Sri Hanumat Dhyana is going to be on the 10th of November. It's happening in Chennai only. So all the details will be given to you. It'll come out on the website also. So the focus here is do your sadhana on a daily basis. Okay? So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.